kai, kai, akana, ziatoni, teno, hozin, niasi.
Well, this is the Abenaki and Indigenous Peoples Honoring Day.
So if you come to today's event, what you'll see is a large grassy field on the edge of a watery place in the midst of what was once an Abenaki canoeing village. You'll see a large tent with tables for food. You'll see tents with vendors with various native crafts and books. You'll see people teaching one another basket making and beading and other traditional crafts. You'll see a long table with food spread out, mostly indigenous food, buffalo, Three Sisters corned beans and squash salad, corn on the cob. You'll hear people talking to one another. You'll have families meeting with each other, distant kin reconnecting over time. And much of this event is about honoring particular elders, some of whom have passed on, but it's also about honoring those relationships that were built in the past and are being rebuilt now and will continue on into the future. So if you walk into this not knowing what to expect, you'll have that sense of reconnection with place and people and time and ancestry. In Abenaki culture in general, so these are all the people who consider themselves people of the dawn or people of the east. Wabanakiak is the original term that then is pronounced either Abenaki or Abenaki or Abenaki. There are many pronunciations. But in that culture in general, women are life givers, men are life protectors. These are very broad generalities. And children are life, because children are the future. And so the difference is profound between most native cultures here in what we call North America and most European cultures in what we now call Europe. Because in European culture, at the time of colonization, women and children were considered the property of the senior men in the household. If a woman's husband died, she was considered to be under the charge of the eldest male relative. Might be an uncle, might even be her own son. It was difficult for women from Europe to own property or have any agency of their own, and children could be put out to service, could be married against their will, could be put to apprenticeships against their will. So they had very little say in what their lives would be. Whereas in native country, people were seen as individuals, valued for their gifts, their abilities. Children who seemed to have particular abilities might be put in the care, not in the service, but in the care of some elder or some craftsperson or some knowledge keeper who could pass on that information. So often information was passed from the oldest to the youngest, so that you would have this unbroken chain of knowledge, and even if it skipped a generation, it would go to whoever was best equipped to carry that knowledge, to understand it and know how to teach it going forward. So that even credentialing, in indigenous communities, credentialing was about not just who you were or what your status was seen to be, but what you contributed to the community. Whereas even now in Euro-American communities, credentialing is something you earn from people who are seen as superior to you. So even though I have a PhD, for example, in a Euro-American institution, that does not make me any smarter than an indigenous person who has minimal education. Because intelligence is not how you are credentialed from outside, it's what you contribute to your community.
Well, strictly speaking, to honor all of the indigenous peoples, the Abenaki peoples whose homeland this is, we're kind of smack in the middle of the Abenaki homeland here, which includes Vermont, New Hampshire, Western Maine, Southern Quebec, Northern Mass. So that's part of it. The other part is to honor indigenous peoples of all lands, not only just in the Americas, but I don't know if you heard earlier, there was an Irish woman who stood up and very kindly apologized for the genocide here, and then I turned and apologized to her as someone with some British ancestry for the genocide of the Irish people. You know, indigeneity is worldwide, and the recognition of that, I think, is vital for children of all traditions. And to share in that is really what America is about at its best.
Adio, unu mamji, adio.